Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And tonight originally we were going to talk about Tuesday night football, Monday night football, and Sunday night football. We were going to just recap all those games. And then just a little bit ago, news came down that Le'Veon Bell has been released from the Jets. So I figure we got to start the episode with this. And I mean, I can't say I'm shocked. We talked about it on the recap show. I feel like I did pretty well in that when I was talking about Bell must be regretting his decision and the Falcons should be firing Dan Quinn by now. Hey, so it's happened. Quinn got fired. Le'Veon Bell, I think he's very happy based on what I saw on Twitter. I think he's extremely happy that he was released. His terrible decision to sign with the Jets is now over with. But what's this mean for fantasy? That's the big deal here. He's going to sign somewhere. Where is that somewhere? Like early thoughts. I'm trying to think top of my head. I mean, first, one of the things everybody always says every time somebody comes available, it's a good player, is like the Patriots come up every time too. But I don't know if I, see that happening for sure. I think if they did, great. I think that'd actually work out. I mean, Sony Michel, we know is not very good, right? Damian Harris, we don't know. He looked good in the first game, so maybe they wouldn't go do something like get Le'Veon Bell. But other than that, what are you thinking? What's your first thoughts here? Where's he going to end up?
The truth, I don't have like a number one place where he could land at the moment without like another injury occurring. The only place that does make sense, I've heard other people say it, but Chicago does make a lot of sense, right? And personally, I would like to see him go there, mostly because you need to, if you want him to be successful, right? I mean, if you go to New England, not that he'll get buried, but he won't be used in a bulk way. No running back ever is, really. I mean, every once in a while you get a lot of carries as, the primary back, but other than that, not really. But if you go there with Cohen out, Montgomery not really performing as well, they aren't a prolific passing team. I feel like not only would Bell be very helpful in the passing game to quarterbacks that will be up and down all year, whoever the heck the quarterback is going to be, and Foles will just assume.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you could give him 20 carries a game if you really want to. I know Montgomery is still there, but you could give him a lot of carries and say, hey, we're a defensive-minded football team. We're going to bang it out, and we're going to pretty much put the onus on not screwing up. We're not going to turn the ball over. We've seen teams win this way, right? I mean, it's not anything crazy. I brought him up before, but Baltimore back in the day with Ray Lewis and, Ed Reed and Dilfer was the QB when they won a Super Bowl. They were a great defense. And I do think that Chicago is, not to that level, but they're a very, very good defense. And they've shown that this year. You have Mac. I mean, he is an all-world player. That's why I'm thinking that would be a good fit. I've also heard Chargers thrown out there because what is happening to Eckler? I actually personally don't like that one. I think who they have right now is kind of fine. I think they could figure it out with Kelly. And as much as Herbert is impressing the crap out of me right now, I don't think you go and get a Bell and kind of mix it up, because as far as I don't know, is Eckler really
and they're 1-4. I don't know. I feel like he's going to try to tag along to some contender, which, I mean, there's options. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll probably know more tomorrow, but there's options all over the place. Like you said, would it shock you to see him like maybe the Seahawks even? Seahawks, he seems like that kind of like signing.
I actually, that would be on the short list, right?
Yeah, and something like that.
It would all depend on how much money he's willing to take on the cut. I mean, his pockets are pretty fat right now. What is that? They were talking about $28 million since he came to the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, they cut him so they didn't have to pay him the $2.5 million extra. So yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all. Does it help him fantasy wise? I mean, he's still probably behind Carson. He would just give them more depth so they can continue doing what they've been doing.
I'd like to see him on that offense, though. That'd be a cool one.
If he was the primary guy, I would love it, but I don't think he would be. I think, Carson or whoever is healthy at the time, but would he get carries? Yeah, but I would love for him to go somewhere where I could really see if he's kind of like Le'Veon of old, And I know a lot of people are saying no, but I do not think
I don't think he's done. I think he can still play. The Jets are so bad. They are awful that I don't think we got a real shot. I'd really like to see him actually on the Steelers. Oh.
I know I would too. That's not going to happen though. It's kind of like fool me once or whatever. But as soon as you force your way out of a place, you're not coming back.
Yeah,
you're not coming back.
No. So yeah, Bell. It's gonna be an interesting story to see how this plays out over the next couple of days. And then if he won't, obviously, even if he signed this week, which I don't know, that seems too quick. But no fantasy value for probably the first game he plays with whoever. But maybe down the stretch, you got somebody if he goes to the right situation. I mean, I guess if Tampa hadn't signed Fournette, we would be thinking that could be a destination. But I feel like they have too many of these once good running backs on their team, so I don't think they're going to go for him. But
I would have put that in the possibility, besides for the fact that Rojo has been doing really well.
Yeah, true.
And why rock the boat, right? Yep. I think you're finally getting some continuity in that offense. Why throw Bell into there? Yep. But I do have to say the only other thing is not fantasy relevant, but the thing that is cracking me up about this, I love anytime there's a big move like this because you really see how the fans feel about the team. Yeah, I am loving seeing all the Jets fans just absolutely shit on Gase. Like,
oh, he's bad.
I cannot I do not know. Like right now, I'm sure that they're just like, stick to your guns. We're not firing him. That guy is. I mean, when do you think he's actually gonna be gone? Because there's no way.
Monday. Monday, I think Monday. He needs to go. He is bad. He was terrible in Miami. He has been he cannot run a team. Like, I don't even know if the guy knows football. It doesn't matter if he knows football or not. He clearly cannot run a team. He can't control his team. It's just bad. It's terrible.
That was cracking me up.
He needs to go. So, all right, that's good for Bell. But hey, we got 3 games here we haven't talked about yet. So let's start off. I guess we start with Tuesday Night Football that just wrapped up. Titans beat up on the Bills 42-16. Titans are undefeated now. Going to be 4-0. Bills are dropping 4-1. Titans they just destroyed them. It was easy for them, really. Tannehill, solid, just really solid day. 21-28, only 195 yards, but 3 touchdowns. Just solid all around there.
And a rushing. I mean, he's going to finish.
True. Yeah.
Quarterback of the week. I love this game. First of all, I don't wish Buffalo any ill will. But I just cannot. I just like when I see a 4-0 team that I don't believe should be 4-0, and then just watch them get steamrolled by a team and be like, okay, let's take a step back. What else can you improve on? I do have to say I really enjoyed watching some of my guys I really enjoyed Tannehill and AJ Brown coming back doing really well, and obviously our boy Jonnu Smith, who
2 touchdowns,
another multi-touchdown game. So it was a lot of fun to watch, and I mean that as easy as that, really.
Yeah. Derrick Henry didn't have to do a lot. He didn't break. This is Derrick Henry, but it doesn't break the long run. But he got 2 touchdowns. So, Derrick Henry owners, you loved today because of the 2 touchdowns. So it's just a good team. They're good. They're a good, solid team, and simple. It's just easy win for them. I say for the Bills, this was Josh Allen coming back down to earth a little bit. Let's cool it with the MVP talk.
Yeah, he couldn't. This is what happens when you don't allow him to run roughshod over you, right? I mean, beat us through the air, and it was clear that they were like, no, we have to slow this game down because we cannot. And he still had 2 touchdowns.
He was still okay. He wasn't. He
wasn't. Yeah. I wouldn't call him bad.
No.
Like you said, like it just got a little out of control with talking about how good he was and amping him up, when he has a lot of work to do as a NFL quarterback, right?
I will say one player was bad. I'll say one player was bad, and that's Devin Singletary.
I know this one kills me. I want to blame it on something else, but
I don't know.
Point, I think I'm wrong. Like I think I was just wrong about him. I do think that he does have talent, but obviously not enough to overcome whatever scheme or game plan that they got going on. So I don't know.
He didn't look better than TJ Yeldon. Yeldon broke 1 for 34, so his numbers look a little better, but it's not like he looked better than Yeldon tonight. And Yeldon got the touchdown catch too, which was just might be wrong on this one, which is disappointing because he showed so many flashes last year. It's just not happening right now. We'll see. But one player we're not wrong on is Stefan Diggs. I'll say that one. He's good.
Like a monster, man.
10 catches, 106 yards off 16 targets. I don't know how people had him ranked around as like the 30th receiver, 25 to 30. I mean, that was just so clearly wrong. He's an awesome player. Like he just is. And he's there. I mean, John Brown was not in the game today, so that helped Diggs, I guess, as well. But he's just doing this every week. He's great. But this is a 1 week hiccup maybe for Buffalo. They'll be back. They'll probably be fine. And I guess you can blame it on moving the game around. Probably, I'm not going to say that, but no, they just didn't have it.
It doesn't help. I get, they didn't.
But the Titans came back after not practicing forever, and then getting a week off. So
I don't even think it's the offense necessarily. It's Josh Allen did throw 2 interceptions. Like the Titans defense did definitely poke some holes in that offense, but I thought the Titans defense itself held up really, really well against what has turned into like a very dangerous Buffalo offense. I think that was the biggest takeaway. I don't necessarily think it's like Buffalo's bad all of a sudden. They're not. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the Titans were underlooked, and because of obviously all this COVID stuff too, we weren't really thinking about them. They had to skip a game.
No.
I mean, they're an undefeated team right now. And I think that should be taken into account. And it, even for their players, they're able to put up, in Buffalo, their defense hasn't been bad. So they're able to add, having all the distractions in the world come out, put up points. And you saw it, the big players, not only can they have big games, it's kind of an offense that is a little slower ran, definitely on the rushing end, but hey, they can score a lot of touchdowns, which is great to see because, you wonder, Johnny Smith, you're like, okay, how many times is he going to go for 80 to 100 yards, right? But hey, he can catch a lot of touchdowns. He's getting
touchdowns.
Yeah, how many times is he going to do that? Well, looks like quite a bit.
Yep.
A.J. Brown, he was hurt. He's coming back. How is he going to do? Immediately right back to kind of where he was. And Derrick Henry, once again, like you said.
Just touchdowns.
Even if he doesn't get the yardage, he's a human battering ram. So any worry that you had, this was nice to kind of put it to rest, especially if, heaven forbid, it did get canceled or something. That would have been a whole different story.
So let's move over. We'll move over to Monday Night Football. Now let's go see how Monday Night Football went. And that was a overtime win for the Saints. They came back to beat the Chargers 30-27. So the Chargers have had a couple weeks in a row where they've jumped out to leads on the Saints and then the Bucks, and they couldn't quite pull it off. But Justin Herbert he's the real deal. This guy is for real. 20 for 34, 264, 4 touchdowns. I mean, this was just a great game from him. I mean, his team lost, but he was probably the better quarterback in this game between him and Drew Brees. And I mean, he's just good. I mean, he's the best. He's right now. He's better. He's a better player than Joe Burrow is at this point. He is. Burrow's been okay, but Justin Herbert has really flashed, and he's good. Even though they're only 1-4, he's been good. He really has.
I mean, I think really, I think we're even underselling it. I mean, he's been, I mean, he's been good for like a veteran, he's been unbelievable as a rookie.
Yep.
And I guess that would be my question, assuming, and that's a lot, right? He's a rookie. I don't expect him to throw 4 touchdowns every game, but say he keeps this up or like a high performance level, who benefits the most on the Charger team? That's kind of whatever.
I guess it depends who's there. If Keenan Allen's healthy, because I don't know the injury status yet. If he's healthy, I still think it's Keenan Allen. Like he will be the main guy. But this game showed that maybe Mike Williams can be a player, and he just needed the right quarterback. It's been a couple years, and 5 for 109 and 2 touchdowns as he became the main guy in this game. He could play. Like there's no doubt he actually can play. Now, can he stay healthy? How's that going to work? But if Keenan Allen, this is where it's just huge for Herbert. If Allen's healthy and you got a healthy Mike Williams with Hunter Henry, this is a good receiving group he has here. I think Allen will be the guy. He's going to be the main guy if he's out there. He's going to get a lot of targets, but Mike Williams showed he could still play. And I think Herbert's going to be able to sustain like both of these guys, and throw the occasional touchdown to Henry. Henry's numbers aren't going to maybe be, huge, but he's going to get hopefully a touchdown or 2. But that was the big thing. I love seeing Mike Williams actually look like a really good like NFL receiver there. He looked the part finally. So love to see that.
Yeah, thank goodness, man. I mean,
yep.
And you do wonder, and I don't want to put it all on Phillip Rivers because he was such a good quarterback for so long, but you do wonder with Mike Williams and his specialty going down the field. you do wonder if the arm strength and kind of what we're seeing this year with Rivers not overly successful on the Colts, even though it's a good team. You do wonder if that, got in the way of maybe him progressing a little bit.
Yep.
Now you have a strong arm quarterback like Herbert, and he's showing flashes once again. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm kind of pulling for him because he's such a good talent that disappeared, like kind of fizzled for a moment.
The running game. So Justin Jackson his numbers look a lot better, but it is skewed by the long run. I mean, Kelly was the main back for most of the game, but it's not like he was definitely not impressive on Monday. He was not impressive. Justin Jackson he was okay. A 36-yard run really, makes your numbers look a little better than they truly were. I don't think any of these guys are like, I don't know. You'll play Kelly if you need to during bye weeks, you need a flex option, but I'm not going to be in love with the play. I think he's kind of he is what it is. It's nothing special, right? Eckler's clearly the best back. Hopefully he can come back from that injury. He will at some point, but it's going to be a way down the road here yet. Saints wise, Breeze was fine. 325, a touchdown, a pick. Alvin Kamara, he got the yardage, got some catches, no touchdowns today, but this is what he does. This is just a typical game without the touchdown, right? And then you got Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill. He just comes into these games and just vultures touchdowns from people. That's what he does. It's what he does. Good old Taysom Hill. Without Michael Thomas, though, Emmanuel Sanders, 14 targets, 12 for 122. This isn't going to sustain itself, though, because Michael Thomas will be back next week, and this will be the Michael Thomas role, right? And Michael Thomas will eat up all those targets. So I think it's just a 1 week thing from Sanders. Not really. I don't really expect that to be something that you'll see very often.
No, I agree with you. I don't think that you can have, Kamara is always going to be kind of the number 2 receiver on that team. Michael Thomas, when he's in there, he's going to do exactly that. Sanders did his best impression. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he did.
For 122. Very good game. But, Michael Thomas is the man. He's a better wide receiver at this point. Emmanuel Sanders will probably jump down to like number 3, which will cut his targets in half at least.
Yep.
So is he still worth having? Yeah. Let's find out what happens first. Michael Thomas, this wasn't even an injury thing. He was out because he punched a teammate.
Yeah, something like that.
Who knows what is going on at this point? They survived this one, but the Saints are definitely going through some growing pains, if you will.
Mm-hmm. All right, then one more Sunday Night Football final game we didn't talk about this week. Sunday Night Football. Seahawks go to 5-0, beating the Vikings with a touchdown there at the end of the game. And I don't think I'm going to. Okay, I don't think I'm going. I'm not. Might sound a little crazy, but I don't think it's too crazy. DK Metcalf is going to be my number 1 ranked receiver in 2021. I'm not even joking. He's that good. Yeah, I think he's that good.
We were singing his praises before that, but this was the first game where I saw him as a go-to, like put it on my shoulder, coach. Like give me the ball. I'm gonna take it all the way. That he has some catches where you're like, he is a full-grown man playing with children. Man. That last catch, Russell Wilson tried to force it into him multiple times.
Yeah,
and that last one, the guy is he's such a great wide receiver. I can't wait to see when he gets a few more seasons or, whatever it may be under his wing and he can start. The only person that I can think that he reminds me of is Julio.
No, seriously, that's my comparison right there. Yeah.
The only one.
Mm-hmm. That's what he's Julio. That's what it feels like. Man, I think this he is good. You've been saying it. You were all over this one before his rookie year even started. I didn't expect this even though this
I'll be honest. I didn't either. I thought it would take another year before he really started showing this kind of stuff.
Well, and people might think we're being a little crazy. It's only 6 for 93, right? And 2 touchdowns, but there's just something. There's something about it though. Like he's just that good.
Oh, and yeah. True, but also it was in a contested game down the stretch. It was a 2-minute drill. The Vikings? It was much more of the the atmosphere and what was going on at that time. Where if you're a big time wide receiver, a big play, like you can have big games.
Yep.
This was like, I feel like players have that moment, and maybe I'm over indulging him at this point, but I feel like this really was his moment, and we're about to see him kind of just separate himself from every other wide receiver on that team. He is the number 1 by far now.
Yeah. I think so too.
And I don't even think that's necessarily his fault. Lockett is good in his own right, but Metcalf is by far, he has established himself in that upper tier all of a sudden, where you want to talk about, I know Julio hasn't been playing that well, but Julio and Michael Thomas and these guaranteed guys, he now in my mind is that guaranteed guy at the bottom rung of that.
Well, I mean, if I'm trying to rank receivers for the rest of the year, how is DK not your top five, right? He's easily a top 5 receiver for the remainder of the year. I don't think, right? So I mean, it would be what it's going to be: Hopkins and Adams, and Tyreek, and Michael Thomas when he comes back. Honestly, I think DK is right there after that. I think DK's like 5. I'll give Michael Thomas the spot, but yeah, I'd be like it's Hopkins and Adams and Tyreek and Michael Thomas and DK Metcalf, honestly, because who else is there after DK? I mean, Mike Evans and Calvin Ridley, those kind of players. Yeah, he's top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's number 1 right now.
Yeah, he is. It's not crazy then.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Thank you for trading him to me last year in our keeper league.
Yeah, well, I got the title, but I made a lot of moves.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to bite me this year big time.
Got the title. So rest of the Seattle, I mean, Russell's good, 217 yards. We got 3 touchdowns out of that. They didn't really run the ball much at all in this one. They were down though, and they had to come back, and Chris Carson had 8 for 52 and a touchdown. Viking side of things, Cousins was okay. I mean, this is like the good Cousins game at this point, right? 249, 2 touchdowns through a pick. So Dalvin Cook goes down with the injury. That's the big news, the groin injury. He had 17 for 65 and a touchdown before that. It looks like they're going to hold him out of next week for sure, because then they have the bye after. So Madison came in, and we knew this all along. Madison, we always knew if Cook went down, Madison, he seemed like he was going to be able to step in and just do a pretty good Dalvin Cook impression and be a good player. And he did, like 20 carries for 112 yards. It was a really good outing for him. So the thing is though, so we didn't talk about him on the waiver show because, this hadn't happened yet. The injury hadn't happened. I have a hard time with it though, with Madison, because it's a 1-week thing, right? It's really only a 1-week thing. I don't want to go too crazy. I'd still rather have Chase Claypool over Madison for long term. And I start to wonder if I'd rather have Damian Harris, right? If Damian Harris is going to be potentially the guy. Madison, unless this is a long-term Dalvin Cook injury, which I don't think it is, it looks like it's going to be a 1 week. They get the bye week and then he's back. So if you need a player for 1 week, yeah, Madison's the guy to go get, but I don't want to go too crazy with it.
No, I'm with you. I mean, Cook has so darn good. There's nothing Madison can do. It's not in his power to establish himself where he's going to get more playing time even when Cook comes back. So unless there's information we do not know that is not out there about the injury, he won't be out very long. Even if he was out 2 weeks or whatever it may be, which I haven't even heard that. But even if he was going to be out for that, yeah, great. You have a short-term spike. And everyone would love that. That'd be great. But I can't go too crazy on how much, waiver money or the position to give up. And especially when Claypool is out there, that is clearly better, right? I mean, if we're just talking about that clear, but I like what you're saying about Harris too, though. I mean, that's a legitimate question, because on the Patriots, we don't really know, but
we don't know yet.
Long-term risk on maybe Harris really is the guy there, and he can give me a entire year or the rest of the year kind of worth of value compared to a 1 week spike.
It depends on how badly you need that 1 week though too. So
yeah, at this stage, I feel like do not, try to get Claypool and Harris. I mean, if you got him that's fine. But if you put him ahead of those guys, and you don't need the win right now that bad, most people.
Then Adam Thielen, 9 catches, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, was really good, solid. He's having a solid year. He's been good. Justin Jefferson didn't really do much in this one, 3 for 23, but this is a game though that they got out to a lead. They ran the ball obviously a lot, 41 total carries. They ran the ball an awful lot. And Thielen's the one who picked up the targets, just the way this one went for Jefferson. He's still going to have his big weeks. So Vikings, though, they should have won this one. They blew this game, and now they're 1-4 and not very good. So it is what it is. Seahawks, though, are good, 5-0. It's a good start to the year for the Seahawks. But all right, I think that's all I got, though, for today. Let's recap some games, see what Le'Veon Bell does. we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do mailbag, and we're gonna do some disappointments on the year as well. We're gonna do that episode as we have no Thursday night football this week. So remember that no Thursday night game. They'll be back Sunday, and then there's 2 Monday night games at least again. We got Bills Chiefs at like 5:00 on Monday, which is, I mean, shoot, I'll be at work yet probably watching that game.
Actually, that is a very intriguing game.
It is.
After the Bills really got it handed to them.
Yeah.
It can show me a lot if they,
Well, and the Chiefs too, after they got handed.
Yeah,
the Raiders did it to them.
I would not want to be the Bills right now, though. Because
right.
After the Chiefs get beat, I would be terrified of Mahomes.
Right. So, all right, that'll do it for today. Talk to you guys tomorrow.